Gen Z has got lead poisoning. All right, Gen Z, they're obsessed with their vapes. They're disposable vapes. You know, every time I walk around in a park in Frankston, I put 3 vapes in the bin and none of them are mine. These fucking Gen Z freaks are just sucking on and dumping batteries in the park. It's actually foul. There's bins. I used to think it was gross when I would find cigarette butts places. Now I'm finding like full fucking lit up LED batteries leaking lithium into the soil, left by degenerate fucking Gen Z idiots. And I used to think poorly of these people, but now I understand that they all have fucking lead poisoning, literally. A new study has revealed a deeply troubling health risk hidden inside some of the most popular disposable vapes on the market, one that researchers say could be even more dangerous than traditional cigarettes. According to the research from the University of California, Davis, several disposable vape brands emit lead, nickel, and antimony at levels far above safety limits, with one device releasing more lead in a single day than nearly 20 packs of cigarettes. That makes me think about that video that I saw of a guy in China who's like the quality control in the vape factory, and while everyone else is packing vapes into their boxes and putting the lids on them, his job is to grab like a pallet of 30 of them, suck on every single one of them to make sure they work, and then send them off to you. So every single vape you're getting has been pre-sucked by some guy whose lungs must be made of lead by now. You're getting pre-sucked vapes, dude. Disgusting. Honestly, smoke cigarettes. We need to start running cigarette ads for the youth. Vaping I am so fucking sick of walking in public and all of a sudden I'm enveloped in some vanilla scented cloud. Disgusting. The smell of cookies used to remind me of my grandmother's house. Now it reminds me of some Discord mod in a fucking trench coat and a fedora. Get rid of these fucking vapes, man. They're poison. I remember I don't know why the fuck I was having a crisis. That's why I was having a fucking crisis when I was like 19, 20. I wasn't making any money with comedy. I hadn't taken off at all. I had some good Facebook posts and like 2 YouTube videos with views. I was working in call centers and I got so fucking sad and depressed. I thought anything would be better than this. So instead of killing myself, I signed myself up for a music production course. And the jury's still out on whether or not that was a good decision. But I signed up for a music production course because I liked making music and beats for rap. And thank God I never pursued that. Seriously, I do like a little bit of rap, but could me being a rapper? No, I like making funny music and expressing my feelings rhythmically, but I don't know about releasing an album. Sorry to all those Christopher Ruse fans. I had to pick my lane and I'm happy with the lane that I chose. But who knows? Maybe I'll put out music when I'm even more gray and get ridiculed for it. Anyway, I'm in this music production course, and there was this guy that was my age now. So that's how you know he was an even bigger loser. And he was going bald, and he had very pallid skin. He looked very unhealthy, and it was just when vapes were like, they weren't even legal. They just weren't. They were a new thing. This was like, it must have been, if I'm 19, this is like 2013 or 14, I think, right? So vapes just started to appear, but it's back when vapes looked like fucking wizard wands. Do you remember that? And I remember after one of our first classes, we all took the tram back and everyone was buzzing about what they were going to learn and this and that. And he pulled out this fucking wizard wand, this giant fucking, it looked like a recorder with an LED in it. And he just started puffing it on the fucking tram, pissing off every other person that was on the tram. And he was like, they're technically legal and they're not bad for you. They're better than cigarettes. And I wanted to hit him so hard that the front end of that fucking vape would stick out through the back of his skull. I wanted to punch the vape while it was in his mouth so that it would shoot through his skull and go through the window like I had just cracked open the window with the emergency hammer. That's how much it pissed me off. And it smelled like this sickly sweet vanilla cookie chemical lead mixture. And at that moment, I understood the terrible mistake I made by signing up to that music production course. I was like, oh my God, I've surrounded myself with the absolute bottom scum of the planet Earth. I can't ever be like this. I have to leave. I think I mainly did it because I wanted to be on Centrelink as a student, but when I found out how difficult it was to do the forms to sign up to Centrelink, I just never did it. So I just stung myself with like 2 semesters of HECS debt and never got on Centrelink, and I just stopped going to classes and started posting. Like, what the fuck is wrong with me? How have I gotten here? You know what I mean? I don't think I've ever spoken about the 2 semesters of a music production course I did, and everyone there was trying to be a DJ. This is when like the nightclub scene in Melbourne CBD was fucking pumping. Like Pinga Pete Cloud9 days were in full motion, and everyone just wanted to be a fucking DJ. And I wanted to actually make music, and it was just a scam. Also, like the instructors were no good. There were no real assignments. It was just like a scam to get money from the government. And then I got saddled with a bunch of HECS debt that I think it took me years to pay that shit off. And I never got my degree. And even if I got my degree, it would be useless because it was in music production. Fucking, hi, I would like to pay $30,000 to do something that I could do at home by watching fucking YouTube videos. Anyway, what am I talking about? Oh yeah, vapes. When I first saw the lead concentrations, they were so high that I thought our instrument was broken. And lead author Mark Salazar said, lead author Mark Salazar, that discovery launched a deeper analysis, uncovering that metals were either present in the e-liquid itself or leaching from internal components like leaded bronze parts and degraded heating coils. 4 devices emitted nickel and lead at levels that surpassed thresholds for neurological and respiratory harm. 2 exceeded cancer risk limits due to high antimony levels, a known carcinogen. Dude. I know that like, oh, vaping's bad for you, but you ever read a comment so fucking stupid online, or you watch a TikTok by some like idiot that appears to have nothing going on behind their fucking eyes, and it's because they've been sucking on lead and nickel batteries since they were 14. You know, my generation, sure, there were a lot of kids in high school that were smoking cigarettes, but at least smoking cigarettes looks cool. You know, smells like shit. It fucking kills you. It's really bad for you, and it makes your teeth yellow. But while you're doing it, fuck, it looks pretty cool. You know, it looks pretty fucking cool. That's a lie. It looks cool in cinema. It looks cool on TV and in cinema, and that's why everybody does it. But in real life, I don't know. I remember like I saw a girl, I thought she's gorgeous, and then she pulled out a ciggy, and my whole body went, yeah. No, she stinks. It's not good, man. And the vapes are even vapes are like the opposite. Oh, this person smells kind of nice, but I can't take anyone seriously sucking on electricity. You know, like you got a fucking hard drive in your pocket and you put it in your mouth. Gross. Grow up. Get a real addiction, huh? Why don't you heat up a spoon, you coward? There are people out there that are hanging for vapes. They get jittery if they don't have their fucking USB. That's pathetic. Yuck. You're a loser. If you vape, you are lame. One of the best things I ever did for my entire life. Any young kids listen to this. One of the best things I ever did for me and my future and my dreams and my mental health and every aspect of my life, I never touched alcohol, drugs, or cigs. Not once. Never have. And here's why. Here's why it's the best thing I ever did for me. Because it's so fucking easy. Yeah? It's easy as. Right? Because everyone's always like, wow, that's amazing that you don't drink that. I don't know how you did that. It's so easy. You deal with a little bit of peer pressure from 16 to 18, and then everybody just knows that you don't drink. It's not a little bit. It's fucking heaps. There was so much peer pressure. There was so much, and I almost bent a couple times, but my iron will stood strong, and I never touched it. And now I never get off it. I haven't been off. I get offered like drinks by people I meet for the first time. Would you like something? I'm getting something, and that's like a polite thing. And I go, no, thank you. But every single person in my life, there's no peer pressure. Everybody just knows, right? It's so it's so easy because I don't know what it's like. I've never tried it. I never had to quit, right? I respect people so much more for quitting than me. I never started. I don't know how good it is, you know? That's easy. Right? I don't have to. Quitting's hard because you're like, fuck, that was awesome. Me, I'm just never going to start. It's one of the best things I ever did for myself. And in terms of investing, not drinking ever, that's like buying Bitcoin in fucking 2011. That's the best long-term investment you could possibly make. The amount of money I've saved myself, the amount of health I've accrued while others have damaged, the amount of just clearness of mind, and talk about fucking wasted days, man. Going out getting pissed and then paying for it the next day with a hangover. Not me, dude. I was reading a book and learning something, or working, or actually resting. Because that's another thing, right? I'm not saying that, while you were hungover, I was working. That's very true a lot of the time. But also a lot of the time, while you were hungover and recovering, I was resting. Right? Because recovering is not resting. It's recovering from the damage that it doesn't get you back to zero, right? If you spend a bunch of energy and then you overspend, now you got to recover. You're not at zero. Yeah? Does that make sense? You're paying a debt back while I'm accruing, baby. Anyway, highly recommend never touching any of that stuff. I just don't think it's good. I don't think there are many people, or even weed, dude. This is a controversial take. I think weed makes you fucking stupid and lazy. And I think that there are, yes, a lot of very, very, very successful people that smoke weed, but those are outliers, and they're not, very likely not you. And those people, even more controversial, might be a fuckload more talented if they never touch the stuff. Hey, but that's just my opinion. You can suck in your lead with weed in it if you would like. Many of the disposable vapes are technically illegal in the US, but continue to flood the market through online sellers and unregulated distributors. The speed at which new products hit the shelves has far outpaced both regulation and scientific research. Yeah, that's so true, dude. There's vapes fucking everywhere. And every vape I pick up in the park when I walk the dog has a different logo and a different build and make. And it's like, I know you guys are buying these from like $2 op shops. This is like me when I was like 15, I was going to op shops and buying fake Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Or $2 shops and buying fake Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Right? Now you kids are buying vapes with lead and nickel in them and going, why can't I read? It must be the screens. Nah, it's the lead. The screens aren't helping either. What can be done about this? But what needs to be done about this is everyone needs to just bully people for vaping. Like, it's fucking lame. It's so unbelievably lame. Like, every time I see someone vaping, I laugh. Like, that's so funny. Because here's the thing. I think that vaping is way more laughable than smoking, right? Because here's the thing. The cigarette smoker, they have an addiction, sure, whatever. But the cigarette smoker, they have to think to themselves, I am going to have one cigarette. I am going to stop what I'm doing and have a cigarette. I'm going to stop. I'm going to pull out my packet of cigarettes. I'm going to light one and I'm going to smoke it, and I'm going to smoke it until it's gone, and then I'm going to move on. Or I'm going to smoke it while I do this thing, and then I'm going to move on, and then maybe later I'll have another cigarette. That I can respect. The vapor always has it in their fucking fist, like that, you ever see like a 7-year-old boy who hasn't been told to stop holding on to his penis? You see some of these rappers, they were never told that because their parents weren't around. They do it in their film clips. But the vapor holds it in their fist at all times like it's their fucking binky, and you can tell they're holding onto it in their fucking dirty pockets, and they pull it out and they're vaping it all the time. There's never a moment where they're not at one point thinking about having a drag of their battery lead. And that's why it's so much lamer than smoking. Because smoking, you stop, you light up, you have a ciggy, maybe you take a photo, maybe if there's a nice gloom and some glare, it looks really cool, and then you're done and you move on. The vapor is pathetically attached to this thing like there's some 300-pound obese American that just got COVID and they're attached to a fucking ventilator. It is lame. You look like you have no self-control because you don't. And I can already hear what you're saying. Yeah, well, at least I can drive. Yeah, well, maybe I passed. Maybe I can drive, and I'm keeping that a secret from you. Have you thought about that? That's what's so funny about the vapors is you see them, they come out of buildings, and before they take a breath of fresh air, they've sucked on the fucking vape. The first thing I do when I leave an oppressive corporate office building with LED lighting is I push open the door and I take a deep breath. The first thing that a vape-addicted idiot does is before they exit the building, they have a big inhale of the vape, and the first thing they do is they exhale battery acid into the environment. Breathe some air, you coward.